Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back once again to Tech of Tomorrow. For my American viewers, hey, happy 4th of July. That's right, it's Independence Day here in America, and we've got a nice explosive review for you guys to check out. So what are we looking at today? Well, today we're going to be checking out the new ASUS GeForce GTX 760. This is their DirectCU 2 version, and it has a lot to offer that's different than the reference card. Now, the reference cards that come out and all the cards are going to share some features. They're all based on the 28 nanometer process. They're all based off GK104. They're all going to have 1152 stream processors. They're all going to have 96 texture units, 32 ROPs. They're all going to have the 2 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory. These are things that are going to be the same across the board. Some of the differences in the cards, though, are going to be in the type of cooling used, in the type of power requirements, and basically how the card looks. So with that said, let's jump in now and let's check out the ASUS card, which is a totally non-reference design. Of course, it does share all those same features that I said before, but it has a lot of stuff that makes it unique. So let's jump in, do the unboxing, and let's see what's different about this ASUS card. All right, folks, so check it out. Here is the box. This is the ASUS DirectCU 2 Overclocked Edition. Now, here's basically the front of the box. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. You guys know what that is. I'm going to flip the card around to the back of the box, though, and here are some of the features that actually do matter about the card. Their cooling, the DirectCU 2. 20% cooler, vastly quieter. Now, the CU is the reference mark for copper. The heatsink is directly connected to the GPU so that all the heat is dissipated out to the card and kept cool through its open air design. Now, these guys also use direct power plus super alloy power. So direct power means all the power is going directly into the card, it's being conditioned, and the super alloy power is all the components and everything that keep the card running cool and constant at a constant rate, making the card last 2.5 times longer. And then last but not least, GPU Tweak. This is their overclocking software. It works very, very well in the Windows environment. A few clicks of a button and you're up and going. So with that said, let's check out what comes in the box. Pop the cap right here. And we'll see, there's not a lot of content in the box. Got the 6-pin to 8-pin power connector. That's one of the differences in the card as well. We'll get to that. Most of the cards that you see out of the market require 2 6-pins or a 6-pin and an 8-pin. This card actually only requires a single 8-pin power connector. Something different there. So let's go ahead. Here's everything that comes in the box. There's really not a lot of content. You get the driver, GPU, the speed setup. You guys get the cables. And now we'll get to the card itself. So I'm going to bring this up. You guys can see right off the bat, it's got the ROG color scheme. We've got the black and red going. We have 2 fans, hence the DirectCU 2. The 2 means there are 2 fans. Underneath that, you guys can see all the beginning of the cooling apparatus. All the aluminum fins are underneath there. As we flip to the side, you guys can see all the heat pipes. Now, this is an open air design, which means that this card actually does rely on your case having good airflow to keep cool. All the heat will be dissipated away from your GPU, but it'll be into your system. Your system's airflow will blow all that out and keep the system running cool as well. Here at the bottom, we see the PCI interface. Flip it around. You guys can see it's a dual slot design, so it's going to take up 2 slots in your computer. Once again, we see more of the aluminum heat fins here in the back. I'm going to flip the card around. We see the DirectCU 2. And here's something different. Right here on the card, we see the power requirements of this card are only a single 8-pin, unlike most other cards, which, like I said previously, require 2 6-pins or a 6 and 8-pin. That's pretty interesting in itself. I'm going to flip it around the card to the back first. First, we'll take a look at the 2 SLI fingers here on top. You can only do 3-way SLI with these cards, not 4-way. Just want to mention that as well. Then right here, we see the 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. These are used to remove the cooling apparatus. So you just remove these screws right here and you can pull the entire cooling apparatus off. Now, here in the back, we see the direct power. This is specific to only ASUS cards, and it's one of the things that actually helps the card run a lot better. Last but not least, I'm going to flip it around to the back, let you guys see the rear I/O. 2 DVIs, standard HDMI, standard display port. Now, before we actually get into it and do our testing and stuff like that, I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things that we did with the card before we get into the testing. We actually ran the card at standard, and then we also increased the clock speed, and the memory bandwidth by 100 megahertz. As far as our temps went, we had a minimum temperature of 29 Celsius and a maximum temperature of 60 Celsius, and the overclocked max was 67 Celsius. Because of the cooling, the maximum GPU boost though was actually 1228 megahertz, even though we set it at 1170 megahertz due to the superior cooling. And with that said, let's jump in and rock out with our spot count and check out the benchmarks. All right, folks, so there you guys have it. Everything to do with the new ASUS GeForce GTX 760. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, why do I really still want to get this card? Well, you guys gotta understand, the cooling of the card is what really matters now on NVIDIA cards. The way the GPU boost works, it works off how cool the card runs. So the cooler the card runs, then obviously the better the boost. We were able to increase the card by 100 megahertz on both the memory and the clock speed, and we got very good results. Maximum temps that we got were 69 Celsius. That's really awesome when compared to the reference card, which actually ran about 18 to 20 Celsius hotter in some instances, which is actually really quite crazy. So that's pretty much it, folks. You guys seen the card. You guys see what it is. It's coming to market at about $260. So that's a really good price. It's about $10 more than your standard reference edition card. So I think at the end of the day, this is definitely an editor's choice product. I'm Elric. We'll see you guys back here on Tekka tomorrow for more tech goodness.